It's the tie of the round, Rioch's Arsenal against Keegan's Newcastle. Two great clubs with famous traditions and giant ambitions for the future. Between them, they can field over £55 million worth of footballing talent. All the ingredients that currently make English club football so exciting are on display tonight.
Right, Ian Wright, oh, that's brilliant. Fantastic goal. Absolutely brilliant.
The Coca-Cola Cup quarter-final, one of the matches of the season in prospect tonight here at Highbury. Arsenal versus Newcastle United. Hello, good evening from Highbury, where we have a classic cup tie for you. We also have the man of the moment, Terry Venables, England coach, but only until the end of the European Championship in June, and that was the dramatic announcement made by the Football Association this afternoon. Terry, straight away, it's your decision, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's one that's been a very difficult one to make. But I did inform Graham Kelly on the 18th of December on the draw in Birmingham, and he asked me to go away and think about it, and I come back and I've told him what I feel.
But based on the litigation that is pending and that will be coming up in the autumn, really?
Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult situation for myself and for the FA. They always knew the position right from day one. But it could be on the qualification or trying to qualify for the World Cup that I could be in court on for several weeks, and that is a very difficult situation for them, and I just felt that if there was an embarrassment, the best thing was to do that someone else would take over.
All right, we'll talk more on that matter, but let's look at team news, Terry, here, and there's good news for both sets of fans, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Arsenal, I think particularly, they've got Steve Bold back, Dennis Bergkamp and David Platt. That's got to be a huge boost for those. But Newcastle also with John Beresford and Robert Lee, who gives them a major goal thrust for the team.
They're the Premiership leaders. They're 14 points ahead of Arsenal in that. They're really formidable favourites, aren't they?
Well, that's how it looks, but it's on the night tonight, and I think Arsenal have really got to do something in this competition, and they know that. They've got their big guns out, and I think that it's going to be very tight. And Arsenal will be a team to really have to watch for tonight.
Yeah, I suspect you just have got a sneaking suspicion for Arsenal.
Well, Newcastle are in tremendous form.
Yeah.
We know what they're capable of, but Arsenal...
Right
really,
up until 3 minutes of injury time.
Exactly, but they're a proud team, in Arsenal, as you well know yourself, and I think they know they've got a bat on their hands tonight.
But there's one of your men, Terry, very much in your mind for Euro '96 there.
Yes.
And I mean, this game is full of great names and great potential.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. Newcastle have been in tremendous form. They've not only been winning their games, been winning it in style. Great football team. And so many individual stars to make the team come alive. Bergkamp
there is very important to Arsenal. I think without him, they're half the side, really.
Well, he holds that position that links with the midfield and Ian Wright. He also comes from deep and links the team together, but he's capable of getting that all-important goal, which they'll be looking for early on, I would think.
David Platt, now, he's had surgery at the beginning of the season, and he's not really fully recovered from it, I don't think. I wouldn't believe so.
Well, I think, to be fair, he's had an operation, as we were saying earlier, almost a double operation on his knee, and he's worked hard at getting back, and I think that he'll be hoping to get his form back as well as his fitness.
Yeah. OK, thank you. Well, kick-off beckons here at Highbury, as you can see from that wonderful shot above the stadium. Let's join our commentary team, Ron Atkinson, and first, Brian Moore.
Thanks a lot, Bob. Good evening, everybody. Newcastle about to kick off then. Beaten only 3 times this season, remember, in 26 starts. Confidence and belief flowing through that side, facing an Arsenal team with only 1 win in their last 8. Beresford to Albert. Oh, he lost that for a moment towards Wright, and Keown flying in there as well. Now the flying Helder. Wright waiting in the middle. Wright for the header. And just as Newcastle scored in the first minute last week up at St James's Park, a goal by Ginola, my goodness, Arsenal weren't so far away from repeating it here at Highbury. A great run here by Helder. There's his cross. Wright is waiting, but it's over the top and it's a goal kick. But you fancy it's going to be a rip-snorting cup tie this, and that gave it a perfect start. Beardsley playing it for Beresford again. In comes Adams, Bergkamp, Merson playing it long, Peacock, Cernicek's way out of his goal. Long ball played, Ferdinand's after that, and Seaman about to bring a bit of order to the occasion. Well, that's a bright enough start for us, Ron.
Oh, hectic first 2 minutes or so, hasn't it? Great snappy tackle in midfield, cannons the ball through, Helder shows his pace, takes on the back of the Newcastle defence, and he just couldn't put the ball in front of Ian Wright. It's a great pity for Arsenal's point of view, but the ball just wasn't laid up in front of Ian Wright.
Right, he's gone past Albert, but his shot is away off the target. Well, Arsenal were in fact well beaten at St James's Park last week. Kevin Keegan rating that Newcastle performance one of their best of the season. But they've been very much pushed on the back foot in these opening moments by a very determined looking Arsenal side. As they were saying before the start, with their key players back, and here's one of them, Dennis Bergkamp. And Newcastle at the moment just anxious to keep the ship steady. To Ferdinand, to Beardsley, Gino's away on the left. Beresford's made a great break through the middle for him. This is the Frenchman. Wide far side there to Watson. Here comes Keown. Important night for Steve Watson, 21 years old now. And with Gillespie out of the side on that right-hand side, that really is an opportunity for him. He's played it for Barton this time. David Platt gets it away. But now Newcastle beginning to buzz. Beardsley. Elder gets it clear. Touch there by Bergkamp. Keown couldn't keep possession of it. Philip Albert, the Belgian. Robley. Beresford. Ginola. Free kick to Newcastle. Ginola taking it quickly, but too quickly for Ferdinand.
It just seems wherever the ball is at the moment, Brian, there seems to be a flock of players from both sides around it. I mean, you saw Ginola pick up the ball before he had a chance to run at anybody. Dixon was flying in, and there's about 3 other red shirts around him. But that seems to have been the pattern in the early stages wherever the ball is.
Good jump by Beresford, beating Merson in the air. Here's Merson to Bergkamp. Beardsley. Beresford. To Ferdinand. It's a free kick again to Newcastle.
So at the moment they're just leaving Ferdinand up the middle of the field on his own. Ginola out on the left-hand side, then everybody else just floods into midfield on the Newcastle side.
Playing 3 centre-backs Newcastle, Peacock, Howie and Philip Albert, with Barton and Beresford pushing forward the full-backs. Albert. Adam stops it. Lee, who's had an Achilles problem, but he was past fit today. Ferdinand. Bringing Warren Barton into it. Watson. Ferdinand. Barton. Ginola on that side now. It's Dixon who got it clear. Close passing, played at furious pace. Here's Lee. Beardsley up ahead of him. Watson on the far side. Oh, that's a good ball for him. Beardsley. Stopped though by Bold. Good defending. Adams. Dixon. Kick given Newcastle's way, a foul by Bergkamp. Really is a night for Arsenal to seize their chance against excellent opponents to get their own season back on track again. As I say, one win only in their last 8, and they face a difficult cup replay next week away to Sheffield United. Harry. Beresford. Newcastle bench with Terry McDermott there. Free kick to Newcastle. Talk about the confidence and belief in the side. I mean, that really was never better illustrated, Ron, I suppose, than those extra time minutes at Chelsea on Sunday, when I think everybody felt that they were out of the cup, except those men in red and white shirts, and they made it come right for themselves in the end.
I think there's two things there, Brian. A, the confidence of winning and playing so successfully in so many games, and plus the fact they've always got a get out of jail card with Les Ferdinand. You know, even in the early stages of this game, you know, Srnicek just wellied a ball down the field, and it was a nothing ball, and Ferdinand nearly made something out of nothing on it with his pace and power.
Well, it's an amazing record, 23 goals in 26 games.
I think what happens as well, you know, the boys in midfield, the boys at the back, they'll dig deeper, they'll work that much harder if they know they've got somebody like that up front that can always get them something. And it gives them that certain belief.
There's a bit of mauling, squabbling going on there. The referee felt that both players were at fault, quite rightly played on. Here's Watson. Ferdinand. Beardsley skipping through the middle. Ferdinand, the pace of the man. Stopped by Adams, though.
They lose it out, though.
Beardsley with the cross. Behind, offside, free kick.
Good timely tackle from Tony Adams, that, but I'm a bit surprised, you know, the Arsenal back four retreated so much. You thought one more yard here and he's not even going to bother going past, he's just going to let fly Les Ferdinand.
Quite what you're saying about the value of Ferdinand to them. Obviously with 23 goals in 26 games, that speaks for itself. But I know Kevin Keegan was particularly delighted. Oh, I think, wait a moment, before we go off, I think Steve Bold is going off. Arsenal have got to make a substitution quickly. John Jensen's coming on. I presume Martin Keown will then go into a centre defence. So Bold has gone off. Now to Arsenal. Well, Steve Bold had a problem, I think it was with the knee, and Bruce Rioch was telling me before the start today that he had a really fearsome workout on it this morning, about an hour. Now it's header, Arsenal's corner. It's a hamstring injury apparently that Steve Bold has got. So John Jensen's on. And after that really stringent workout this morning, they thought Bold was going to be fit, but well, he's lasted less than 10 minutes.
Well, this is a corner now. This is a situation they would love him in, wouldn't they?
Absolutely.
That near post.
A little flick on at the near post. Helder's very deep corner there towards Keown. Bergkamp now retrieving it.
Oh, great save by Srnicek.
I have another one to make good. He pawed at that one and just pushed it away for a corner. But a terrific bit of goalkeeping there by the Czech Pavel Srnicek from Bergkamp.
Absolutely brilliant goalkeeping, but great work from Dennis Bergkamp here. Nothing to go out, opens it up, nearly curls it in that left-hand corner, but as you say, great save from the Czech goalkeeper.
And another corner for Arsenal.
That's a bit of header, flicked away. Platch trying to turn it back in again. Jensen also right in there. And, well,
see this one. He runs onto this one brilliantly, and I actually thought that was past the keeper. Gets a firm block, but more important, they're brave in there. Everyone's reacted very well to that situation. But that's a good clean header. Just number of bodies have beaten them there, the Arsenal.
Sanacek took a little bit of a knock there, but he's okay, and as well that he is, because in Kevin Keegan's 3 substitutes, they're all outfield players, as indeed are Arsenal's. Beresford turning away from the threat of Ian Wright, playing it along the line to Ginola.
See the respect they've got for him there. Ginola, when he received that, Merson was at him, Dixon was at him. There's a bit of cover from David Platt.
Here's again. Gets it back to Beresford. Ginola. Back to Beardsley. Ginola again, this time to Beresford. Not forward, but Adams covering that territory. Bergkamp, Jensen, Keown, caught by Helder, now Winterburn, David Platt, with a little flick through, but it was a little too ambitious, even for someone as willing as Wright. There's Kevin Keegan. Saying that Ferdinand's important to them. He was delighted that Rob Lee has managed to shake off his Slider Kinney's problem, and that was well publicised, Rob Lee's Achilles. But what wasn't well publicised was that big Philip Albert had gone down with a touch of flu today, where he is heading the ball now. Comes to Merson. Albert had gone down with flu, but decided after a sleep this afternoon that he'd play. The big Belgian, number 27, really is important to them. You talk to Keegan about him. He says he's got such a fantastic presence around the club as a whole, not only on the pitch, Ron.
That was the
players
word,
like that are so valuable.
Just looking at him, he's just used the exact word, presence. I mean, even when he's not on the ball, he looks in complete authority, and he'll have to be at the moment, because Arsenal are right up for this.
They are indeed.
It's a cup competition. We know what Arsenal have been like in all the cups over the last few years. And they really look as if they've got the teeth into it tonight.
So Winterburn. News from the Arsenal bench is that it is, as I say, it's a hamstring that Steve Bold has got. It's not his knee that's gone again, and so they are in fact quite relieved on the bench that it's that. Here's Adams. David Platt. Bergkamp's gone off on a run, looking for Platt's pass, finds him.
Actually, Dennis Bergkamp's playing virtually as a partner for Ian Wright, isn't he? We thought he may have played a touch deeper. He seemed to have pushed right up alongside Wrighty.
True. It's Watson. Keown. Lee. Back by Darren Peacock to Sanacek. What of an hour gone.
Quarter of an hour in which I would think Kevin Keegan is quite happy that he's still all square. 2 or 3 very, not opportunities, but 2 very good efforts from Arsenal, which one of them certainly may have gone in.
And Seaman has not really had a save to make, has he?
No, I think a lot of that is the way Newcastle set the store up there. They're playing most of their players behind the ball, and I think probably the sort of game plan is not to concede anything early.
Harry, Beardsley, Beresford.
And then when the game opens up, which it's inevitable, must it? He can't stay at this pace for 90 minutes. Hopefully their players like this fella can demonstrate that skill.
Delightful bit of play.
Brilliant, absolute brilliant. People will say he's diving there. When you go in and twisting and turning like that, you're going to get knocked down, aren't you? That's not diving, a minute. The fellas are delighted. Look at that.
That's beautiful.
That's unreal.
Two going the wrong way. Ginola's going the right way.
He's going the wrong way.
Jensen.
He perhaps exaggerates a little bit at the end, doesn't he? But sure.
Well, it's he and Beardsley over this free kick. Albert's up there. Howie's up there. Chipped in towards Philip Albert, but it was Keown's header. Watson keeping it going. A real up and under there from Lee Dixon. Beresford. Ginola. Plastered him there, and there's no foul. Gerard Ashby had a look at it, said no. Ginola stays down. Oh, and that was a foul. And it's a yellow card for Winterburn, and I don't think he can have any arguments at all about that one. And I'm not at all sure that Dixon's didn't merit one on Ginola, but Winterburn certainly gets it. Ginola's still down. Right through the player, yellow card coming up. Ginola, I think the game will go on because Ginola is basically off the pitch. There's the challenge, Sean. You're nudging me about something?
I'm surprised he stayed down quite so long, actually, because Lee Dixon didn't appear to catch him that badly. But Winterburn, yeah, Nigel had no complaints there. In the current climate with referees, challenging from behind, unless you're absolutely 200%, you've no chance.
Correct. Warren Barton's going to take the free kick. Newcastle go on with 10 men. Chip towards big Les Ferdinand. Dixon hammers it away. Beardsley. Wright might chase this. Interesting. In the end, Srnicek tries nothing clever, just to get it away. In the semi-finals of the Coca-Cola Cup at stake, remember, as Helder goes striding forward again. Well,
he got a little bit excited at the end, didn't he, Hatley?
David Ginola's back on. He doesn't look very happy with the situation. Here for Paris Saint-Germain against Arsenal a couple of seasons back in the Cup Winners' Cup. And Arsenal were on their way to winning it.
And there was an awful lot of talk about him at the time, wasn't there, joining Arsenal?
That's right.
He might be aggrieved at the challenge he's just had from Lee Dixon, but he can bet money there'll be more on the way.
Lee playing it for Watson. Barton hammering it forward. Newcastle throw. Striot, who was going on quite rightly about getting continuity. That's how you get winning sides, not devastated by injury or suspensions. And to be fair to him, he's both those problems this season at Arsenal. Ferdinand just touching that on. Watson trying to make something of it. One has the better of Winterburn. Beresford coming in to lead, but it was Merson who got the header in for Arsenal. Dixon with the clearance. Now Lee.
That's once or twice out on that right-hand side. Steve Watson's actually muscling Winterburn out of it.
Helder hitting it long. Now there. encouraging Beresford to go forward a lot, aren't they, tonight?
I think he will, as you see, like now, Ginola's freeing himself, coming off the line a little bit. That'll leave the space out on the side for Beresford to break in. Also, Warren Barton, he'll have the responsibility a lot with Watson of sort of replacing Gillespie, making the ground down that right-hand side, and then sort of giving the deliveries that Ferdinand loves. At the moment, it looks a little bit as if Newcastle have just sort of steadied the storm a little bit, haven't they? You know, they've survived it, and now they're pacing the game a little bit. They're getting more of the ball. And the first quarter now was as hectic as I've seen.
Well, they've had rest and recuperation. I don't know how much rest they've had. They've had recuperation since the Chelsea game. 2 or 3 days down in Bournemouth on the south coast of Newcastle. Harrison. Ferdinand getting it back to Cernicek. Cernicek, who's in the side once Shaka Hislop, the former Reading goalkeeper, had his injury a few weeks back at Chelsea. Shaka was telling me that he's back in training again now.
This lad's a very improved goalie, isn't he?
Indeed.
I mean, even in this little flurry now, he's been very, very impressive with his clearances, because he's had some ugly back passes to deal with, and he's dealt with them very, very well.
Go through the first half now. No foul. Alba gets it clear towards Ferdinand. Here's Beardsley. Certainly looking to put something in their trophy cabinet. Last major thing was the Fairs Cup way back in '69. Can you think it was the first time they reached the quarter-final of this competition in 20 years? As Kenny Keegan will tell you, it's the first trophy that's always the hardest to win. And fancies 1 or 2 might follow the first one. It's an amazing lack of success for such a great club, isn't it, really?
It is incredible. Particularly in yours associate Newcastle as a cup side, don't you?
That's right. Here's Watson.
He's looked very, very strong at Steve Watson. And very, very clever, good with the ball.
Peacock. Getting it back. Cernicek. Adams with a header. Lee. Peacock.
At the moment, you just get the impression now that Newcastle are starting to make the running of the game. You know, they're controlling the tempo of it, which is I would think is very much what they would like to do.
Adams. Flat. Ferdinand down for a moment. Staying down. Right's offside. Let's see. Steam coming off the effort that Les Ferdinand has been putting into this game. All right, there he is, battling there and falling very awkwardly after that challenge from Tony Adams.
You're never sure with this now, are you, when they bring the stretchers on? I mean, at one time a stretcher coming on the pitch and the alarm bells will be ringing everywhere.
But now it's, do you want treatment or don't you? And if they say yes, then you've got to have the stretcher, and the game goes on.
I think you've just got to hope there he's just badly winded, haven't you? Not. Did he not have some back trouble a year or two back?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, didn't he? Yeah.
Well, we've seen those terrific pictures from the blimp And there in the night sky over North London is the blimp. I think Ferdinand's okay to go on.
Has he got to do the obligatory walk off and then back on again?
I guess he has had to,
He has,
having
hasn't
been
he?
on
Yeah.
the stretcher. Maybe he's going to get the treatment there as well. Beardsley.
I think you saw the other value of having Les Ferdinand. Philip Albert would have just clumped that down the channel knowing Les Ferdinand was on the end of it, but he hadn't got that sort of outball.
Well, Les is back now. Hits straight at Beardsley. Gets it back from Ginola. Gets it back to the Frenchman again. Beardsley slipping it through to Ferdinand. Watson's waiting. Watson's making a little run for him. Here he is. Right, closes that door. Finds Merson and now Jensen.
And he can finish.
Adams claims a dive. Albert unhappy, but the referee decides there was no dive. It was a dive. There was no foul. Game goes on.
But that's a lovely thing to have somebody at the back like him that's accomplished enough to drive through and look a quality midfield player coming through. I'm just waiting then for him to get it outside his left foot because he can club them from a distance.
Almost got right in there. Keep up the recovery. There's his clearance. Lee. Ferdinand. On that side, still with Ferdinand, surrounded by red. Flipping the wide again. Wobbly won't get that. An Arsenal player down. It's Nigel Winterburn. Well, he'll have to go off to get treatment from Gary Lewin. Thinking again about Ferdinand's 23 goals in 26 games. Do you think anybody's going to score more goals in the games they play in? I mean,
not in a full season, they're not. You know, if you're talking about somebody coming in over a burst, say a dozen games and getting 14 or 15 goals, I could see that, but I could never see anybody sort of having more than 40 goals from, you know, a similar sort of number of games.
Dixie Dean got 60 in 42 league games back in the 1920s for Everton. But I mean, that's a different era. And maybe he was a different class. But you can't see it happening now.
I seem to remember didn't somebody get relegated from the first division as it was then, with over 100 league goals? I mean, it's fair to say league goals were goals were more plentiful there.
Dixie got 60 in 42 league games in 27-28. Here's Merson. That. Putting it away. That again. Dixon. Merson. Ginola. place by Jensen. Then stopped. A very timely tackle indeed by Adams. It's Ginola again. Dixon tried to catch hold of his shirt, but he still found his man with it.
You know, he's public enemy number one, Ginola, with the Arsenal fans. I'll bet they would love to see him in a red and white shirt. When the ball goes to him, and it's so easy with him, isn't it? He'll take a touch, he'll attempt to beat people. If it's not, and he just drops it off one touch to a support player. Yeah, I think he's a phenomenal player. I mean, I can't believe that he and Cantona are not going to play in the French team.
Trying to make his voice heard somewhere on this noisy stadium. With a little knock there.
Yeah, I would think, as I say, I would think Kevin would be fairly happy. And now the game's steadied itself down and they've had a fair amount of control of it. They haven't as yet made the goalkeeper work, though. Seaman has really just been fielding loose balls. A lot of it due to this fella, Big Adams. He's made 3 or 4 very, very strong, impressive tackles.
Right, losing it to Beardsley. And upends Peter Beardsley. With the free kick. Peacock had gone up for it. Ball fell very conveniently for Warren Barton. Tries to find Ferdinand. Peacock still up there. Watson. That's a good cross towards Ginola. Beresford indeed. Beresford. Okay. Brooks making Ferdinand the 7-2 favourite to score the first goal here tonight, and Ian Wright up 4-1. Can't be often at Highbury when Wright's been second favourite amongst the bookies to score the first goal. That again is the power and the reputation that Les Ferdinand has. There's Peacock just nodding it sideways for Albert, up to Ginola. Flicks that wide very skillfully. Claims he was dunked unceremoniously and unfairly by Dixon.
There's a tussle going on there, isn't Adams and Ferdinand. You just get the impression Tony Adams is relishing it. Everything fed into Ferdinand, Adams is around snapping it.
Peacock. Sidestepping help. Finds Lee. Now Barton. Local boy, born at Stoke Newington. Barton again. Lee's made the break. Adams is there. And the first semblance of a mistake in a way by Tony Adams, flicked off into the corner.
I think that's also the first advanced run that Rob Lee's made. I mean, he is very, very dangerous coming into those scoring positions. But he's been used as a sitting player today.
There's Albert. Around the left. Ferdinand didn't make it, called off the referee, fell conveniently for Bergkamp. Watson covering, Ferdinand into overdrive, gets back, retrieves the situation for Newcastle. And Watson driving it wide to Ginola on the far side. I think everybody's playing in different positions.
I think there you see another side of Les Ferdinand that his mates will appreciate, though. 23 goals in how many games? 26.
26.
You'd think, well, he'd just want to be a predator, but as soon as there's danger to his own side.
Ginola. That's a free kick this time. And it's going to be a yellow card for Winterburn. If it's Winterburn. No, Ginola's got a yellow card. Ginola's got a yellow card. I think Ginola's got a yellow card for feigning.
Oh,
it's a yellow card for Ginola.
I thought for a minute Nigel
Winterburn. Yeah.
Yeah.
So So Ginola gets the yellow card for diving, playing the old soldier. Actually, it looked
I'm
to
not
me...
quite sure what else he could have done there, to be fair.
I'm totally in agreement with you.
I mean, I must admit, it was a glorious run. He picked it up in the deep. He was travelling at defenders. Nigel Winterburn's gone down and wrapped a leg around him.
Here he is again. Hasn't endeared him to the crowd.
Well, this will help them. Dixon taking it on, but he's stopped there imperiously by Albert.
Bad ball given away by Keown. Watson. Little flick through to Ferdinand.
Gets it back again to Steve Watson. It might open up here for Newcastle.
Ferdinand's header goes the wrong way. In the end, Winterburn hits it clear. Ginola there with the throw. Somehow teases across in there, but the ball had gone out of play. He's debating that point with the linesman. Well, just needs to calm himself down a little bit now. The crowd are onto him. He's got one yellow card, one more foot out of place, or maybe a word out of place, and a yellow could become a red.
But I think
that would be a shame.
But I think his manager will be thinking, get him the ball as much as you can. He's teasing them at the moment.
Two Arsenal players going for that, finish in a heap, but eventually it comes through towards Bergkamp, and Peacock in the end gets it back to Cernicek, still 0-0.
He's been disappointed, Dennis Bergkamp, hasn't he? I mean, he's got as much quality as Ginola, but Ginola's looking to demonstrate, looking to get involved. Apart from that very, very good shot, Dennis Bergkamp's been a disappointment. Doesn't look as if he's been strong, and I mean mentally strong, accepting responsibility for a player of his quality.
I think there was a message, from what I'm told. The word went out from the Newcastle bench to David Ginola to button it. Stay quiet. Arthur Cox, just sitting behind Kevin Keegan, was the one who delivered the message, I'm told.
Either that or have a go in French.
Right. He's not had his opportunity yet.
He's suffered a lot from a quality of service, though. I mean,
Yes.
David Platt tried to play in one very clever ball through the centre of the defence midway in the half. But apart from that, apart from the cross early on, which was a little bit late for him, I don't really think he's had much of a service at all in life. I think a lot of that's due to Newcastle stifling. I think Newcastle have stifled in midfield very quickly.
As we know well enough, Ron, give him 2 seconds and he'll destroy you.
Oh, yes.
And here's right after this one, but Peacock coming across, read it well, Cernicek.
You see there he's pointing away. He wanted David Platt to play the other side into the space on the other side.
Harry. With all the passion that's out there tonight, there's a tremendous amount of skill too, isn't there?
Yeah, unfortunately at the moment I think a lot of it's stifled. I think Ginola's...
Just a sec, Ron. Beardsley having a strong word. Having the old head there, having a strong word with David Ginola. Now calm down. We don't want to play a difficult cup tie like this with 10 men. Sorry, I broke it.
Sorry, no, I think there is an awful lot of skill out on the field. There's Ferdinand doing his backtracking again, his defending act. But I think a lot of it's been stifled at the moment by very, very quick closing down.
Ferdinand doing his tackling back routine, which of course Ian Rush probably does better than anybody.
Yeah, but it's the best. I've not seen Ferdinand do it as well as he's done it tonight. He's chased back on both sides of the field and robbed people.
5 minutes of the first half left.
I think this lad's had a smashing game.
Watson.
He's filled in an area, he's wasted the ball straight away. He's probably the first ball he's wasted. He's filling in that little right-hand position, and he's enabling, as he tucks in field, he enables Warren Barton to make runs around the outside of him.
Dixon.
Banged in. Bergkamp's on his way. Howie's trying to hold him up. Succeeds in doing so. Corner.
That's the best ball Arsenal have played all half. A brilliant ball from Dixon. He's entitled for Bergkamp to stay stronger on that.
Helder coming across to take it. Adams and Keown going into the danger area. Newcastle pulling everybody except Ginola back inside the box. Arsenal looking for the breakthrough towards half-time. Held as caught. Black waiting. Ferdinand watching it. Keown's header. It was Beresford who made the clearance. Out as far as John Jensen. Knocked in again there. Up goes Adams. It's into the side netting.
He just couldn't get round it enough, could he, big Tony Adams there? Peacock stays in there. Here's Jensen. Chip stands it up to the second post. Adams just can't get on the back of it enough, but you see Peacock just doing enough to prevent him getting a clear header on it.
Arsenal twice winners of this particular competition. To make it another one to get back into Europe. That's the big carrot at the end of it all. Two-leg semi-finals, of course, you remember. The winners here go into two-leg semi-finals and then the final at Wembley. Down goes Platt. Beardsley and Keown, Ferdinand and Keown. Just a little flick up there. I think probably behind the referee's back. In the end, no harm done. Free kick taken. Dixon on the ball for Arsenal, playing it down the line again, this time right. Partlet there.
I think what Dixon and a lot of the Arsenal back four players will be looking for is somebody to pull from midfield and make, if you like, a playmaker type. At the moment, Arsenal, they really haven't got that type of midfield player. Somebody who just pull towards the ball and demand it off the back four. At the moment, Platt's doing most of that, and that's not his best game.
Dixon. Heading quickly for Newcastle. Ferdinand chasing. Keown did well. Supported well, of course, by Adams. Who in turn finds Winterburn. Bergkamp putting it down. Merson. They claim a handball by Lee. Probably was too. Merson takes it up again. That's a real buzz about this cup tie, though. Here's Wright from Jensen's cross. Oh, it's a goal!
Brian, that was slick play from the Arsenal, but it's the swerve on this ball after he's hit this.
I think Cernicek gets a hand to it or an arm to it.
He must have gone 3 or 4 different ways. You don't quite see it from there. He's just maybe just onside, but from there it looked to be going past his left arm. And it swung right back in past his right arm. You may see it better from here. There may be something level at Cernicek here, but certainly we've got a great view of it. It looked to do all sorts of things in the air. It's hit across the ball.
Well, that's an amazing goal, and Arsenal have snatched it just before half-time. Ian Wright, give him a second and he'll destroy you.
And certainly from their best passing moment of the game. A good ball from Platt in midfield to start it, then Jensen's picked the runner. Maybe a slight claim for offside with Wright.
That's 5 in the last 6 games he scored. And while Arsenal's season has faltered a little bit, the man who's kept them afloat through these last few weeks is Ian Wright. 17th of the season. Albert goes up. And just as they had on the Sunday, Newcastle have got a cup tie battle in London. Yellow card for Beresford.
The other thing that has to be said for Newcastle, they've had a lot of play, you know, but they haven't had one striker goal, have they?
No.
I mean, Arsenal, though I don't think have played particularly well, they've played gritty but haven't played well, have maybe had 3 very, very good attempts at goal, including the goal.
Dixon with the free kick.
Ginola wants to get away from this, otherwise they'll get booked for not being 10 yards off this.
Towards Bergkamp. Peacock got it away. Jensen. Now Beresford. That's after him. Ginola. Janacek's clearance. Dixon. Canny play there by Albert. A little back flick. Knew that it would then come off Merson and become a Newcastle ball. Yes, Hobley. Oh, he won't get to that one. Winterburn cuts it out quite comfortably. Nearly 2 minutes of time added on. The end of the first half. Half-time whistle. Well, full of passion and good football. And an explosive goal near half-time that gives Arsenal a 1-0 lead. After the break, we'll hear more from Terry Venables on his decision not to carry on as the England manager after the summer. But to Highbury, it's Arsenal 1, Newcastle United 0. You heard Terry saying that he thought that quite possibly they put Philip Albert into midfield, push Beardsley forward. That was really your thinking just a moment or so ago, basically, wasn't it?
I think they'll have to push forward more. I mean, the other alternative is, of course, is to bring Kitson on as a second striker.
Moment then 1-0 to Arsenal. They stuck to the same formation, the three centre-backs. Newcastle get a free kick, one of them, Philip Albert's going to take it now. Belgian World Cup player. Up to Bergkamp. Cut out by Albert again. And lost as Wright comes in. That's a good ball if Beresford, or rather if Martin can get to it, but Winterburn read that well for Arsenal, but it's a Newcastle throw.
I think there you saw the lack of Gillespie, though. Gillespie's pace would have got him that ball.
Helder playing it into Platts. Dangerous area that, and a dangerous area it might prove to be. Beresford picking it up, and in the end, Jensen just packs it away, and Albert gets it back to Janacek. Challenged by Jensen. Arsenal sorry, hustling well. Platt there. Beardsley outnumbered. There's Howie. With Watson towards him. Losing out though to Winterburn. In goes Bergkamp as well. Helder. Arsenal sword. Jensen. Right, but the flag was up. It's an offside. A free kick to Newcastle United. Steve Howe with a long free kick up towards Les Ferdinand. Jensen gets it away for Arsenal, hitting it long. How is there again? Peacock holding off the challenge of Bergkamp. Howie again, finds Beardsley. Elders after him. And Beardsley lost his way a little bit there. And Arsenal get possession again. Simple into passing. Passing to a man in a red shirt, Winterburn. That's out of play.
Actually, I think in his way, I think David Platt's had a very good game for Arsenal. Quiet, done a lot of the ugly things, if you like, in football. He's closed down on people. He's held a good position in the middle of midfield.
Adams, he's certainly had a good game.
Oh, he's been a tower, been an absolute tower there.
Albert. Offside, sorry, Ron, you were saying?
I think he will have appreciated the very fact that Ferdinand's played up on his own a lot, because when it's played in short, he's been able to go in and crunch him, in the knowledge if he goes over the top, in a way, Keown supporting him is quicker than Bold. So if he came to a race over the top, Keown could quite conceivably deal with Ferdinand.
So full marks to Tony Adams.
But I mean, Tony Adams does like to go in when the ball's played in short and close the thing off.
Dixon. Adams.
Just had it reversed on him there, Ferdinand pressuring him.
Arsenal beat Hartlepool and Barnsley and Sheffield Wednesday. A really excellent performance against the Wednesday here to get this far. Scored 13 and conceded only 1 on that cup run. Newcastle beat Bristol City Stoke and the holders Liverpool, and like Arsenal scored 13 and conceded only 1. And on this important night, Arsenal still leading by Ian Wright's goal to 0.
That's when you're saying you don't go to Anfield and win and then waste the result by going out in the next round, do you?
That's right. There's a long way to go yet. Here's Winterburn. Right. Here comes Lee. Beardsley. There's been so much to admire in Newcastle's play, but it just hasn't had a cutting edge at all, has it?
No, as I say, I think they've been a little bit unbalanced because of the lack of when they were rattling goals for fun. It was when they had Gillespie flying up the right-hand side of the team. I wonder whether it might be worth just sticking in Watson as an anchorman and letting Rob Lee get on more forward moves.
Certainly Watson's one of those players who can play anywhere. He's played both full-back positions, he's played centre-back, he's played on the wing, he's played centre-forward. Here he is now. Just on the right-hand side still at the moment. A little backward header to Les Ferdinand.
Oh, he's one of those Paul Madeley types, isn't he? He's comfortable wherever he plays.
Adams. Brought to heel by Keown.
He does see only the ball, Martin Keown, when he goes for it. I would think he'd be a lot happier as well, Martin Keown, as well, playing in the back four.
We've seen her in European games, Ron, haven't we? What an effective marker of a player he is from midfield.
Yeah, they'll go and stifle somebody. I think in terms of there's a little situation here.
Peacock gets it back.
I think in terms of what he can contribute as an attacking player, I think Martin's very limited in that respect, but certainly he's an excellent defender.
Well, here's Watson with the throw for Newcastle United to Warren Barton. Beardsley. Lee back to Peacock. Forward again towards Les Ferdinand, not back by him. Lee going on this run here. Ferdinand's pulled away towards the back far post, and Ferdinand then coming in, hitting it on the volley, for once getting there before Tony Adams.
I just had the feeling that would have been a goal you'd have been showing for day after day. Look at that, he gets in front. It's a good curling ball in there, and he's hit that with so much force. That would have ripped the net out if it had been on target now.
How about showing it day after day? I think we've been showing that month after month, year after year. It was an extravagant strike there by Les Ferdinand.
But you saw the value once again of Rob Lee moving up into that advanced position. I think he does far better there when he's sat just in front of the back four.
They're going to look more and more to the man on the ball at the moment, Beardsley, and Rob Lee to open a door from midfield for Les Ferdinand. Maybe Ginola down the left. It's a foul by Dixon.
It's also maybe his first touch of the half, isn't it?
I think it is.
I can't remember anybody giving him one.
Half's been going 9 minutes. Ginola with the free kick flicked on. And Harry's header finishing on the roof of the net. Goal kick.
But in the last minute or so, they've had more attempts than they've had in the whole of the first half. Shot of Ferdinand's and that looping header there from Howie.
David Seaman's kick. Peacock versus Wright.
That did well. Bergkamp, bring it on. Wright's chasing this one.
Cernicek out.
Black did do well. Good hustling there. I mean, it seems as if he would probably look and see Beardsley, Lee, competitors for the England shirt in midfield and thinks, you know, I'll still stake my claim.
Watson. He's caught himself an excellent yard there. Now can Ginola get in there? Dixon's there to make it difficult for him. In the end, Newcastle get a throw. With the cross. Goodness, it was Beardsley who was in there. And possibly the first serious shot that Seaman's had to save.
Listen, he just turns and hooks this one in. Plays it in blind, really, and Beardsley, just a reaction shot. Good stretch, and fortunately for Arsenal, it's gone down Seaman's throat, but it's a big period now for Arsenal. This crucial one. They've got to dig in and hang on in there, because Newcastle are now, they're having their best period now. They're turning the screw. They're coming forward now.
Cernicek hitting it long. Beardsley. Well, that's an unequal battle against the height of Tony Adams. Goal attempts. Arsenal with 5. Newcastle with 4. Shots on target. 3-1. For Arsenal, and Arsenal leading 1-0. Ginola turning, can't get away. Comes back for some more, still can't get away. So Merson takes it up for Arsenal. Great challenge there by Howie. Adams knocks it back for Dixon.
Oh, that's going to fall short. Can Ferdinand get there? Ferdinand now.
And Ginola hammers it well wide. Suddenly you could see a replay of what happened at Stamford Bridge.
I thought the actual position he got himself into here, Les Ferdinand, it was almost a carbon copy, although he's staying in there a little bit close. Doesn't always like to use his left foot, Les, wants to come back on his right and sets it up for Ginola.
Poor effort by Ginola.
Yeah, a let-off. But like you say there, and I thought it was going to be that one where he goes outside his left foot and clubs it on Ferdinand.
As you say, it's a big period now for Arsenal as far as the defence is concerned, because Newcastle are coming at them again. This time it's Warren Barton down the right flank, and he's done well. Can he get past Winterburn? In the end, Keown is there to tidy up. They held up. Keown to Bergkamp.
Held up. Now he's in a great stride. He's got, a super defending there by Steve Howie. Needed to be as well, because when Helder gets into his stride, it's a fantastic sight, and can cause all sorts of problems.
Bergkamp, chased by Watson.
Dennis Bergkamp. Into corner for Arsenal. Helder going across to take it. Stone and Adams forward. Right in there. With a header that time. And a chance now for Ginola possibly to work a bit of magic. No. Linson was back so quickly.
Yeah, good dogging. Actually, Keown looks as if he should have had a good strike on that corner. He looks as if he got plenty of time and plenty of space to get a clear header on it.
Albert with a header, flicked on by Lee. Forwardsley hitting it straight back to Helder. And Helder's gone past Albert. Free kick given.
I think he's fortunate to get away without a booking there.
He is actually.
He's giving that
he
one.
He was canny enough, the Belgian, to pick up the Dutchman.
Yeah. It's just innocuous, yeah. But he's made sure that Helder hasn't gone past him, that's for sure.
Well, it's an Arsenal free kick. Interesting position. Plenty up, including Adams, including Keown. Missed kick there. Not by Helder. Into the side netting. This season in 13 starts. Came first to
yeah, I don't think he thought Johnny Jensen was going to lay that off to him, you know. I think he thought Jensen was going to have a goal.
It's a very good line. It's Ferdinand. Free kick this time with a foul on. There's Ferdinand by Paul Merson, I think. Ferdinand again. Merson hooking it away. Three Newcastle subs warming up: Paul Kitson, Lee Clark and Robbie Elliott. Beardsley. Merson spraying it to this side to Helder. Watson holding him up. Here's Bergkamp taking it nicely in his stride. Good challenge though by Watson, nothing wrong with that. Jensen. Merson. Right. Balls for Merson. Wright's gone down the right-hand flank, but he won't be there. Goal kick. So here are the subs warming up now. Kitson, Clark and Elliott. It's Kitson on the left and Clark. Got there though, and well, there's going to be a yellow card for Howie.
We've got another one of those again, haven't we?
Are you saying he's given the yellow card?
He's booked Helder.
He hasn't booked Helder. He must have.
He's booked Helder.
Well, that is something I don't believe.
I must admit, when he came across Howie, I thought he'd have been unfortunate to got booked because he looked as if he made a genuine attempt for the ball.
But he certainly made contact with Helder. Well, it's Beresford offside against Ginola. It's one of those nights, nothing going right for the Frenchman at the moment. Two we've had for.
Yeah, no, I'm just sitting here. I can't remember being at an English game when I've seen two players booked for diving. Ironically enough, they're both foreign players.
Ginola and Helder. This is a good ball now for Wright. Problems here. Platt was right in there. Bergkamp's in there, Wright still trying to keep it going, finds Jensen. Clipped off David Platz. Grabbed by Cernicek. Hit long towards Ferdinand. He's taking a real buffeting there from Martin Keogh.
Yes, and he's giving plenty.
Was he?
There's two tough guys there. They were trying to make their physical presence count.
Peacock. That's a good ball. The flag had gone up, and Wright was only, 2 or 3 yards inside the Newcastle half, but it was enough, and he was offside. It's with Watson at the moment. So just inside, the ball is now out of play, a throw to Arsenal. Oh. Harry. Albert. Beardsley. Beresford. Gillard. Well and truly beaten there by Dixon. Bit of shirt pulling incidentally. Now Dixon's ball releasing right. Bergkamp's in the middle for him. There's Dennis Bergkamp. Great defending by Peacock. You talk to Newcastle fans and they'll tell you what a terrific season Darren Peacock's had for them.
There's also great attacking from Ian Wright then. The way he spun and lost his marker and took the long ball from Dixon. You just wonder in that situation, Brian, that you've just seen Bergkamp in. I just think you'd like to see him with a little bit more teeth in there. I mean, his quality's undoubted. Sometimes wonder whether he maybe goes in definite enough.
Gone down. The crowd were howling. The linesman has seen something. But what's happened here, Ron? Dixon's gone down. Is it a clash with Ginola, possibly? But the linesman has seen something. Gerald Ashby, the referee, has had a word with him. Philip Albert, for some reason, is coming across to talk to the linesman. Ginola's already got a yellow card, remember. Well, I've no doubt we'll have a look at that again in a moment. Let's just at the moment follow. Oh, Gerald Ashby is now going across to see what the linesman on the other side has got to see. He's calling Howie. Red card. Steve Howie. Dixon is still down. Ginola. No, it's Ginola.
Well, at the moment it's utter confusion, isn't it?
It's utter confusion. He waved the... Let's have a look at the right-hand corner of the picture, Ron.
Yeah, there's obviously...
Way off the ball.
Yeah, there's obviously some contact, but I don't think that showed clearly just how much contact there was, Mark.
Well, let's try and work it all out now. We thought that Howie had gone, the yellow card had gone that way, and now there are ructions on the in the Newcastle bench. The police are there. Bruce Rioch is there. Look at the right-hand side of the picture now, top right-hand side. There's something going on there. And the crowd over on that side of the field saw it instantly. And there's still problems in the front of the Newcastle bench.
pretty obvious that they'll be feeling that maybe Dixon's sort of bought it chance, but there's definite jostling now.
Kevin Keegan having a talk there with the referee. But it was way off the ball, and while we were watching that, there was suddenly a howl from the crowd. Well, Stewart trying to restrain Keegan, but he looks perfectly in control and calm about the whole thing.
I think what you saw there as well was Beresford saying, should we just play three at the back, and the full-backs, particularly himself, will have to push on into that wide left-hand position now to compensate for Ginola going off.
Well, there we are, folks. Total confusion, not least amongst us up here in the commentary box, but Ginola's gone, and Howie, who I thought was being shown a red card, and it certainly looked that way, is on. No problems with him, and Newcastle down to 10 men, and a goal down. Howie with a header.
Albert's going to cover the left-back position. And Beresford's going to push up as an orthodox left-hand side midfield player, if you like. Try and compensate for being a man like that one.
Albert again. In the meantime, we haven't really had a look to see how Dixon is faring. Maybe we should do that. Seems okay, but the clash he had with Ginola has had the Frenchman sent off. Free kick now to Newcastle.
The ironic thing about Ginola as well, he had a far quieter half than he had in the first half. Would have been almost non-existent this half, hadn't it?
True enough. Winterburn gets it back. Seaman hammers it away. Bergkamp is offside, and it's a free kick to Arsenal. Or rather to Newcastle, which Warren Barton's going to take. Seaman a safe gather. And here's Helder. Flag is up though.
Newcastle given the benefit there, I feel. Touch and go.
On the other side of the ground, Gary Newborn watching Ginola come off the field, saying he was punching the side of the tunnel as he went up it, and muttering to himself, "They won't let me play football, they won't let me play football." So there's a very unhappy Frenchman in the Newcastle camp tonight. Newcastle down to 10 men.
I think it's fair to say Arsenal have paid him particular attention, which, when there's a player as talented as that, you will do. I mean, Dixon, every time he's coming to the attacking half, Dixon is barely left his side, has he? I mean, that's probably what caused the jostling there to start with. But if he has turned around and walloped him off the ball, which looks likely, that's inexcusable.
Matt getting it away. Harry. I mean, there was a furious howl by the crowd. The crowd on the far side certainly saw something they didn't like. They might have been slightly biased. And the linesman on this side did as well. Here's Platt. Barton holds him at bay.
Yeah, but that's the David Platt we recognise, don't we? Timing his run, piercing the centre of the defence off a long through ball. And he hasn't quite got that snap back yet following his injury, but certainly the other sides of his game have been encouraging tonight. The work rate and the tightening down on people and the marking.
Just about a quarter of an hour left. Arsenal's free kick.
It's going off again, Brian. Beresford's just turned around with Keown after the little tangle. Keown went forward, had a little tangle with Beresford, and Beresford has reacted.
Tony Adams, in fact, was the peacemaker in the end.
Yeah. I think he was a little bit stupid there, John Beresford. I know it may, but you know, it's a boiling point situation from what's just happened. But I mean, the Nottingham himself had to give another play off the field.
Great play there by Ian Wright. A scorching cross coming in towards Bergkamp. And Hilda's in there. And somehow Newcastle will keep it out. It's a great run by Ian Wright. A superb cross as well. Bergkamp looked well placed. And Hilda certainly looked well placed. But Newcastle survived.
You hope if they're playing against England that the Dutch go in with as much conviction for a cross as they did there. I mean, that's brilliant play by Ian Wright. And I think if either the two Dutchmen had gone in with as if they meant it, I think there'd have been another goal for Arsenal.
Peacock. 10 men still in this game. Aaron Peacock again. Peacock to Arsenal. Beresford hoisting it towards Ferdinand. Seaman getting there before Beatty. This is the cross we saw after a brilliant run by Ian Wright. Bergkamp didn't really get there. Helder should certainly have got there.
Oh, it's after you, Claude, isn't it? I think if he'd have gone with any real conviction. To be fair to Bergkamp, I think Bergkamp did as much as he could do there. But I think Helder was looking a little bit the other way.
Watson to lead. This is Barton. Turns it in now for Watson. Corner given. Barton with it. Over towards Ferdinand. Adams with a header, getting it away. Lee now. Arsenal still at this point giving Newcastle no time to settle on it at all. Little Beardsley now. He's threaded the ball through now to Barton. Charge down again. Stabs it now for Helder. He's got room to run. Bergkamp. Right, on the turn, no problems.
You should feel Arsenal with their extra player have got to try and control the ball more and put more passes in. Similar to that. Just take the heat out of the game and not let Newcastle charge forward.
Teams do survive and win with 10 men wrong, don't they?
You tell me, Bob.
Here's Steve Watson again.
Oh, I think if Arsenal hand Newcastle the initiative, they're obviously good enough to come and take it. I think Arsenal's best bet is to try and pin them back in their own half and keep the ball. Because, you know, you look around, you see Ferdinand, as we've seen at Chelsea, you look at Beardsley, you look at Rob Lee, they're all capable in a second of changing the game.
Bergkamp, right in the middle. That's coming up fast. Merson's in there too. Merson dummied that one as though he thought that Wright was just behind him, but it was Rob Lee. Peacock. Newcastle storming forward again. Beardsley. Watson's through the middle for him. Still with Peter Beardsley. Albert on the far side. Canny ball played in there by the big Belgian. Nobody there just to apply that finishing touch.
He's starting to play now in this position. They've shoved him up and stretched him with Beresford, put him as like an orthodox left-hand player now. And that's a lovely ball across the face of the ball.
37,800 here tonight.
See the danger or the threat of Newcastle again. Beardsley picking it up, running at people, feeding any one of 3 or 4 very, very good players.
Right, taking Howie out there and finding Bergkamp. Goal kick.
You know, I was saying in the first half about what an inspiration Ferdinand must be to his defenders and all that. But Ian Wright's done the same for years now, hasn't he, for Arsenal?
Without a doubt.
He scored the goals, but he's run the channels, he's worked tremendously hard.
Foul on Ferdinand by Keown. Free kick to Newcastle. Mustn't take your eye off them for a moment. They can snatch things right at the end, as Chelsea fans know well enough. Well, this is Warren Barton with the free kick. A chip by them towards Albert, but the Arsenal shots were there. Ferdinand! Oh my goodness!
He will not get a better chance than that all night. I mean, that was, it was almost like slow motion, wasn't it? We're saying that's the equaliser. They've got him
here it is in slow motion, and just look at it again.
Sits up nicely for his strong side, his right foot, and he's made an absolute hash of it. Probably one of the simplest chances of this season, I'll bet.
Arsenal keeping possession. Adams, Gibson getting it back to Seaman. Newcastle claiming an offside there. They had a case for it too, I think.
I think Helder was offside on this side of the field. I don't think Wright and Bergkamp were.
It's a corner for Arsenal at any rate. A little over 7 minutes left. Helder will take it.
Noticeable that although Newcastle have got nobody at the field, Arsenal are keeping 3 men or 4 men out, 5 men outside the box now.
Here's Helder's corner for them. Adams is in the box. Back there to Jensen. And now for Dixon. Amongst the Newcastle wall. Get it clear. It's Albert again. Finding Lee. Beresford. Just running into trouble there. And giving an Arsenal a chance to break. Helder leading the charge. Bergkamp away on his left. Right on his right. Another corner.
Well, that's inevitable, isn't it? If you're pushing forward as Newcastle must, you're always going to leave space at the back end. I mean, that was a 4v2 attack from the Arsenal line. Disappointing, really. Then finished up with a shot on goal. In there.
Adams has stayed back this time.
I was just thinking, when did you last see an Arsenal corner with Tony Adams on the halfway line?
Place in the semi-final of the Coca-Cola Cup, beckoning the winners here tonight, and Arsenal needing to keep their lead just for a little over 5 minutes. Plus time added on. Merson getting it back to Dixon. Turn to Keogh. Given away. Lee. Albert's gone storming through the middle. This is Warren Barton. Albert. Ferdinand. Keogh gets it away. To Glenn Helder. Seaman's ball. Well, you've got to name the man of the match in a few moments' time, Ron. Don't you think you've got quite a few candidates for that one?
Yeah, and I mean, I think you'd have to base it all on the work ethic tonight more than anything else. I mean, there's been flurries of skill, but not as much as you would like to see.
Now Beardsley. There's a bit of skill. And now Rob Lee. Watson. Barton on the overlap. Range and instruction there. And actually a little unfortunate not to get something out of that.
He was, but I think the guys in the middle, Ferdinand and Alba, will be complaining. He actually had a good chance. He'd actually beaten
Winterburn,
and he had a good chance to stand the ball in, and he took another touch.
Winterburn, Jensen, Dixon. Right there for Paul Merson. This is a good run. And he's found Ian Wright. Oh, against the post. Bergkamp going in, trying to finish it off. And just wide of the post. Wow.
Well, that was exciting striking, wasn't it?
I mean,
two magnificent efforts there. I mean, the quickness of feet here. Beautiful, quick feet. Changes it. And that's another one of those, there's going to be the goal of the month or whatever it's going to be. And then Bergkamp, to be fair, that's exciting finishing as well.
But it's still 1-0, and Newcastle still not out of it, even though they're down to 10 men with David Ginola sent off.
But the quickness of Ian Wright's feet there, I mean, it looks as if he's going to move the ball again sideways, and then all of a sudden he's hit his shot early.
Watson trying to force it through to Warren Barton, gets it up to Les Ferdinand. 2 minutes of the game left now. They claim a handball. Blacks out of all the debris, and then down he goes, and it's going to be a yellow card. Well, it's either Albert or Beardsley. It doesn't really.
He's not going to give Platt dive in there, is he?
No.
Surely not. He's been mugged there about diving.
This is Ian Wright again with those quick feet you were saying.
Shot, terrific. I bet that goalkeeper can't believe it when he's turned around and saw he's not picking out the net.
Beardsley. Lee. to Keown. Ferdinand again. Peacock. Oh, Helder. Not yet scored for Arsenal. Being pushed wide across the goal there, and in the end there was no problem for Newcastle getting it away, but it's fallen this time for Jensen. And now for Winterburn.
That's okay.
Beresford. Well, don't discount Newcastle yet. There's time added on. That's sometimes when they are at their most dangerous. Beardsley, knocked in by Albert, but Beardsley can't get hold of it. Tony Adams comes away with it, and now Bergkamp and Helder on the left. Wright's up there with him. That's for Ian Wright. It's a fantastic goal. And Arsenal go into the semi-finals of the Coca-Cola Cup. A great run by Glenn Helder, picking out his man to perfection. That man, once again, is Ian Wright. Bang! Beyond Sanicek, 2-0. It's all over.
Yes, clinical, brilliant. I mean, Helder's all of a sudden in the last 2 or 3 minutes has had the space to run into, and that particular time's utilised it well. Tossed in a good ball, and Ian Wright thrives on that. That's the sort of ball he would have liked, I'm sure, in the first minute of the game. But he's still got plenty to do with that header, and that's a great header.
Terrific stuff. 17th goal of the season. And Arsenal now in the semi-finals. Newcastle get a corner, but it's purely academic now.
Something about Arsenal, isn't there, on cup days?
Pardon?
There's something about Arsenal when it's cup competition.
Yeah, they get up and they sniff the air and they think, hello, it's our time of season. And so it's been proved again here tonight. Adams, who's been such a tower, gets it away. Bergkamp, and Wright is up there as well. And he's offside. And he was.
He was, and he was trying desperately not to be. He was almost treading water to stay onside.
Did we get you to name the man of the match or not?
Well, the man of the match in my book is him, because he was a colossus when he needed to be. I must admit, the little fellow up front nearly swayed me in the last minute. But I think in vital times, I think Tony Adams has been a colossus tonight.
Beardsley. No way through. Here's Wright, looking for a hat-trick possibly. Platt has made a terrific break through the middle, but I don't think he's going to get there. But it shows the growing fitness of David Platt. Last minute of a pulsating game, and he ran 40 or 50 yards to try and get on the end of Ian Wright's cross. It's with Helder. Peacock. Referee looks at the watch. Newcastle are going to have to look to the league or the FA Cup, because the Coca-Cola Cup's beyond them. Arsenal will go into the semi-finals thanks to some terrific defending when they had to, with Tony Adams at the helm, and those 2 excellent strikes by Ian Wright. Corner for Newcastle. Warren Barton with it. And knocked away. There's no escape for Newcastle this time. It's Arsenal who go into the semi-final of the Coca-Cola Cup, courtesy of 2 great strikes by Ian Wright. A wonderful shot and a fantastic header. 2 goals by Wright, 2 goals by Arsenal. They go into the Coca-Cola Cup semi-final, and that's the story here at Highbury tonight.
Hello again. No treble for Newcastle this season. They've been beaten here at Highbury. Let's hear from their manager, Kevin Keegan. He's with Gary Newbont.
Kevin, you're obviously going to be very disappointed with that result, but the fact of the matter is you didn't create many chances tonight.
No, we didn't. You know, I've no qualms about the result at all. I mean, you don't play, you don't win at this game. We suddenly lost our way of playing, especially away from home. I mean, fortunately at home we seem to have kept hold of it, but they deserved it tonight. They played very well, created more chances, and they get the chance to go to Wembley, we don't.
What about the sending off there? Did you see it?
No, I didn't. A lot of shirt pulling in the match, wasn't there? I mean, I thought he was very unlucky to be booked, David Ginoli. You know, you're going to start punishing creative players in this country. Well, we'll lose them all. But I thought it was a bad tackle on him, but you might have seen it different on TV.
No, it looked that way. It looked a tackle on.
He got booked for a tackle. I mean,
but I think
that's the way football's going, you know.
Yeah, but I think he got sent off, Kevin.
I didn't see it. I know there must have been something.
Let me ask you finally.
Well done, pal. You deserved it. 2 great goals.
Let me ask you finally.
Talk to him,
yeah, one question you're going to be asked.
They won. They won.
One question, Kevin, about the England job.
They won. Good luck.
Can I just ask you about the England job? Okay. Right, Ian, sorry, just trying to find out about the England job there. Obviously he doesn't want to talk about that. Everyone else can ask him. Let's talk about your 2 goals. 6 goals in 6 matches. And Arsenal will be saying, thank goodness for Ian Wright. The first goal, did that swerve, first of all?
Well, yeah, I felt a bit sorry for Pavel, really, because the ball was moving about. That's what it was. You have to hit, and then it just moved, and Pavel was unfortunate, really, you know.
And the second goal, Arsenal have been asking for crosses, and Helder's great run and a perfect cross for you.
Well, it was like they're down to 10 men, and you know that they'll be going forward trying to get something. And with Glenn is a great outlet for us, and he put in a great ball, and you know I was there to finish it off, which I'm pleased. I've been getting on the end of things. The boys have been magnificent for me, still putting the ball in the box, and they're getting a lot of stick for it, really.
Thanks, Ian. Well done. You're in the semi-finals.
Terry, we're almost out of time. Deserved?
Well, on the night, yes, I think that's a fair result tonight.
Yeah. Okay, sleep well tonight.
I will.
Hope you will. Thanks for being with us. Let me just tell you that you can get an update of tonight's other Coca-Cola quarterfinals in your local news programs, and just check your local listings. 1 or 2 regions have highlights as well. But tonight, here at Highbury, well, it's a story of Ian Wright's unquenchable opportunism, and for his first goal at least, a modern-day ball which, if hit hard enough, can swing, dip and swerve to create panic for all keepers, not just Pavel Cernacek. Ian Wright, the hero once again for Arsenal. Well, that's one story we brought you. David Ginola's sending off, of course, was another story we brought you. And, of course, we brought you Terry Venables and the reasons, first time we'd heard them, why he won't be the England coach after the European Championship. Thanks for being with us. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.